Okay, let's get into your reading, Taurus. Wow. Wow. Let me tell you one thing. I don't feel like there's going to be a storm brewing in your life as time goes by now. And I think that's really, really important because I do feel here that you've struggled a lot, but it's almost like you're out of the eye. So, a hurricane has an eye. Well, actually, no. The eye of the hurricane is supposed to be the calmest, basically. You've sort of been through patches where you feel like you're in the eye and everything's calm. And then all of a sudden things get really overwhelming, chaotic, frustrating, challenging. And then all of a sudden, you're just like, is this going to be the pattern? Well, the great thing is that the entire storm is going to move out, right? So you're not going to be kind of like under this illusion that, it's calm right now. That was the eye of the storm. And in the eye, everything is very, very calm. And so as you come out of it, obviously it gets chaotic again, but the chaos is going. And that's the main thing. Once it goes, it really goes. And I want to hold on to that hurricane image for a second, okay? Because it's actually a very precise description of what makes a hard season so exhausting. It's not just the chaos. It's the not knowing whether the calm you're in is real peace or just the eye, the deceptive stillness before it all kicks up again. Because when you've lived through that pattern enough times, okay, you stop trusting the calm. You brace even in the good moments, waiting for the other wall of the storm to hit. And that bracing is its own kind of exhaustion, the inability to rest even when things are quiet. So what these cards are telling you, okay, is the most freeing thing a person in that pattern can hear. This calm isn't the eye. This is the storm actually leaving. You can finally unclench because the thing you kept bracing for isn't coming back around this time. So that's something I want to say, is that the chaos that you have endured, that's the most chaotic of chaos that you have been through. It just gets better from this point going forward. And I want to honor something before we go into the cards, okay? Because it deserves to be said out loud. You survived that. The most chaotic chaos. The worst of the worst. The stretch where you weren't sure you'd make it through. You made it through. You're here. You're still standing. And I don't think you've given yourself credit for that, okay? Because when you're in survival mode, you don't stop to acknowledge how much you're carrying. You just carry it. You get up, you keep going, you do the next thing, and you don't let yourself fall apart, because falling apart isn't an option when people are counting on you. But I want you to hear this, okay? The strength it took to get through what you got through is enormous. And the same strength that carried you through the storm is the strength that gets to enjoy the calm now. You earned this next part. You didn't just stumble into it. You survived your way here. The Eight of Wands, so that's something I have to mention here, is that the Eight of Wands shows a lot of progress in your life, a lot of movement in your life, a lot of happiness in your life that is really to do also with love as well. There's a beautiful romantic mutual relationship and connection that gives you so much happiness and so much joy for your future. And the Eight of Wands, okay, shows 8 staves flying through open air, all parallel, all moving fast in the same direction, no obstacles in front of them. And it's the card of momentum, of things finally speeding up after a stuck stretch, of everything moving at once toward where it's going. And I love that it's the first card out, okay, right after the storm talk, because it's the perfect answer to it. A storm keeps you stuck, pinned down, unable to move. And the Eight of Wands is pure movement. The sky clearing and everything you've been waiting on finally rushing forward at speed. The Six of Cups, The Six of Cups is about being pursued romantically and someone really expressing to you just how much they desire you, care about you, respect you, love you, appreciate you, and really wanting to move things along with you. I would say for 99% of you, this all happens for you within 8 months. If you're watching this reading from when I've posted it, then it's going to happen within this year, which means the second half of the year. If you're watching this a little bit later on, it will happen within 8 months from when you're watching the reading. And the beautiful thing is that this person is going to propose. This person is going to want to build a long-term future with you. They take action. They are mutual. They are kind, caring. They reciprocate your feelings, energies, actions. They do what needs to be done. And I want to name what stands out most about this person, okay? Because it's the thing you may have been missing in every connection before. They take action. They reciprocate. They do what needs to be done. That doesn't sound romantic on the surface, but for someone who's been through a storm, it's everything. Because the storms in love, okay, usually come from the opposite. From people who ran hot and cold, who said one thing and did another, who made you do all the reaching, all the wondering, all the emotional labor of the connection while they stayed vague and half in. And this person is the cure for that, okay? Someone whose actions match their words, someone you don't have to decode or chase or convince. Someone who simply shows up consistently and does what needs to be done. After everything you've been through, that kind of steadiness won't feel boring. It'll feel like the deepest relief you've ever known. And the Six of Cups, okay, shows 2 children in a peaceful garden, one handing the other a cup full of flowers, an old-fashioned innocent sweetness to the whole scene. And it's the card of pure, unguarded love, of tenderness, of the kind of care that feels safe and simple and real. And I want to name what it means, okay? That this is the card for the love that's coming after a storm. A lot of people expect their next relationship to be complicated, guarded, hard-won. But the Six of Cups is promising the opposite. A love that feels easy, gentle, like something you already knew how to do. The kind that reminds you love was never supposed to be a battle. There's a huge amount of celebration to that, because after that, you'll want to have, a gathering. You'll want to tell people. You'll want to spend time with people. So obviously that's like a huge sort of celebration energy, which just brings you so much joy and so much peace. And you'll feel like your world is coming together, You'll feel like there's a sense of completion in your life because you're becoming more stable. You're becoming happier. You're feeling like this is where I want my life to be. There's commitment. There's happiness. There's joy. There's respect. There's understanding. And that just makes you feel so on top of the world. Temperance. And on top of that as well, it also shows with temperance that there's so much more peace within you. You start to feel optimistic about life rather than feeling like, great, this has gone wrong as well. This is also not working out. This is rubbish. My career is not doing what I want it to do. My money is not doing what I want it to do. Like, no, you will not think those kinds of thoughts because those things will straighten out. The iron is going to iron out those creases. And there's just so much more spiritual, peace of mind that you have. And temperance, okay, shows an angel with 1 foot on land and 1 foot in the water, pouring liquid slowly between 2 cups in an endless, patient stream, a path leading up to a rising sun. And it's the card of balance, of inner calm, of everything being blended into the right proportion at the right pace. And I want to sit with that phrase you used, okay, peace within you, because it's the part of this that no external thing can give you and no storm can take away. The money straightening out is wonderful. The love coming is wonderful. But temperance is pointing at something deeper, a peace that lives inside you, that stops the panicked spiral of everything's going wrong and lets you meet your life from a calm, steady center. The Page of Wands, there's also so much more joy and happiness and fulfillment, and there's just so much more excitement that you will face because the Page of Wands is about you literally feeling so excited and so happy about life, feeling so optimistic about things that are going to come, feeling also financially very, very stable as well. So more financial stability is going to come within 6 months, okay? Half a year, more financial stability. So you can get a promotion, you may get a new job, you may have certain tasks or opportunities that come your way that give you money. More money comes. I don't know how else to describe it, except, guys, more money is going to come. And I want to connect the money to everything else for a second, okay? Because it's not arriving in isolation. Notice the timing the cards keep giving. Financial stability within 6 months. The love within about 8. These aren't random windows. They're the same season of your life opening up on multiple fronts at once. Because when you finally leave a storm, okay, it doesn't just improve one area. The same lifting of pressure that lets love in also frees up the energy you were pouring into just surviving. And that freed up energy is what lets your work, your money, your opportunities finally start to grow. So don't think of these as separate blessings, okay? One for your love life, one for your bank account. Think of them as one thing. Your whole life coming back to life at once. Now that the weather has finally cleared enough for things to grow again. And the Page of Wands, okay, shows a young figure holding a sprouting staff, gazing up at it with excitement, dressed in salamanders, standing in an open desert full of possibility. And it's the card of fresh enthusiasm, of the spark of a new adventure, of feeling genuinely excited about your own life again. And I want to name how significant that specific feeling is, okay? Excited about life again, because a storm doesn't just cause problems, it steals your enthusiasm. It makes you cautious, tired, braced, and getting your excitement back, that childlike, can't wait for what's next feeling, is one of the surest signs that you've truly left the hard season behind. The Knight of Swords, and then we've got the Knight of Swords here as well. So this shows you really speaking your truth, not being afraid to tell someone, that they don't make you feel good if they say something or do something. This is you being very honest and being able to communicate yourself across without worrying about what someone else is going to say, and truly standing up for yourself, which only brings more authentic relationships and connections your way. And also it allows other people that maybe are not treating you very well to actually treat you better, because the more you are vocal about certain things, the more you are also able to gain that back in terms of what you actually want. Like, people will actually be kind and caring towards you and respectful towards your needs. And the Knight of Swords, okay, charges across the card on horseback at full gallop, sword raised and thrust forward, leaning into a fierce wind, storm clouds torn across the sky. And he is the boldest, most direct card in the deck, all forward motion and fearless truth. And I want to encourage you with this one, okay? Because for a lot of people, especially the kind accommodating ones, speaking your truth feels dangerous. You worry it'll cause conflict, push people away, make you the difficult one. But the Knight of Swords is showing the opposite result, because when you finally speak up, okay, 2 good things happen. The people who respect you rise to meet your honesty and treat you better. And the people who don't reveal themselves, so you know exactly where you stand. Either way, you win, because either the relationship improves or the truth about it finally becomes clear. The Strength card. And then we've got here as well the Strength card. So the Strength card just shows you feeling stronger. Your life is getting stronger. You are feeling better. Well, listen, if you are seeing this, then start celebrating. You are literally leaving the storm. Literally, okay? Literally. So comment that down below, okay? The storm is over. Comment it down below. That's the affirmation for this reading. If it resonates with you or if you claim it. So, let me know. And the Strength card, okay, shows a woman gently closing the jaws of a lion, not by force, but with calm, patient hands. An infinity symbol glowing above her head. And it's the card of inner strength, of quiet courage, of a power that doesn't need to shout. And I want to name what kind of strength it's pointing to, okay? Because it's not the strength of gritting your teeth and white knuckling through more chaos. You've already done that. That was surviving the storm. This is a different, softer strength. The strength it takes to finally let your guard down, to trust the calm, to open your heart again after it's been through so much. That's the harder, braver strength. And it's the one you're stepping into now. So, whoa, love what I'm seeing here. The Ace of Swords. So we've got here the Ace of Swords. And yeah, this is exactly what I mentioned. Look at the bottom of this here. It literally says, speak your mind to solve your problems. Did I not say that right? You are going to be speaking your mind. And I said that with the Knight of Swords, okay? Literally another sword card. So hopefully you can see how I work as a reader, When I really see something, I tell you, and then words on other cards literally just affirm what I've said. And the Ace of Swords, okay, is a single upright blade rising out of a cloud, a crown ringed with laurel at its tip, cutting straight and clean upward. And it's the card of truth, of mental clarity, of the one honest thing that cuts through all the confusion in a single stroke. So you're going to feel very powerful. You're going to speak your mind. And that literally is going to solve your problems, If someone's not treating you well, I feel like you will tell them. And if they don't treat you well after you told them, then you know what's right and what isn't. If you speak up about, wanting something and it's been bothering you for a long time, then at least you have that weight lifted off your chest and you have an answer, okay? No response is also an answer. And I want to underline that line, okay? No response is also an answer, because it's quietly one of the most freeing truths there is. So much of your suffering hasn't been the bad news itself. It's been the not knowing, the waiting, the wondering, the carrying of a question you were too afraid to ask. And the Ace of Swords is telling you, okay, that clarity itself is a relief, even when the answer isn't the one you wanted. Because a clear no lets you stop waiting and start moving. And that's why speaking your mind solves your problems. Not because you always get a yes, but because you finally get to put the weight down and know where you actually stand. So there's a real sense here of power and clarity coming your way. And that just makes you feel better rather than carrying this heavy burden of not knowing what to do. There's a sense here of relief and celebration and coming out of this storm and feeling like things become more peaceful, things become better, things become more balanced. You start to feel happier, you start to feel more uplifted, and there's a real sense of joy that I pick up on, which you will absolutely feel and feel so much more confident with as time goes by, which is honestly amazing. So I'm just going to get another card. Let's see. We got a lot of cards there. Let's take them. Okay, there's 3 of them here. The Two of Swords. So we've got the Two of Swords. So this is about listening to your inner voice, making choices. So yeah, you can sometimes be stuck on different choices, like should I do this or this? Listen to your gut. Listen to your intuition. Make sure that you meditate as well so that you can activate your third eye. Third eye really helps with intuition and decisions and lowering emotion. Remember, emotion can sometimes override your intuition. That's why people make decisions out of emotion and then regret it. What meditation does is it helps to balance things out, right? So then your emotions are balanced. Your intuition is bright and powerful. You'll make decisions from your intuition. Very important. Very good to do. And the Two of Swords, shows a blindfolded figure seated by the sea. Two swords crossed over their chest, a crescent moon in the sky, the water still behind them. And it's the card of a decision held in balance, of a choice you've been avoiding because you can't quite see it clearly yet. And I want to give you the real key to that card, because it's genuinely useful. The blindfold in the Two of Swords isn't permanent. It comes off the moment you get quiet enough to actually hear yourself. The reason the choice feels impossible is usually that emotion is shouting so loud you can't hear the quieter voice underneath, the one that already knows. So when you're torn between two things, two people, two situations, two opportunities, the answer isn't to think harder, it's to get calmer. Because your intuition has been trying to tell you the whole time, and it only becomes audible once the emotional storm settles enough to let it through. The Six of Swords, we've got here the Six of Swords. So it says here, move from problems and be mindful what you take. So this is really, really important here. Some of you may be taking on board the responsibility of other people, taking on board the responsibility of feeling responsible for other people, for things, circumstances, situations that maybe you haven't even inflicted or done anything wrong in. So it's really about being able to separate those two aspects and realizing what is your responsibility and what perhaps isn't, and what you do need to do versus how much time you need to take for yourself as well. And the Six of Swords, shows a figure being ferried across still water in a small boat, moving away from rough waves toward a calm, distant shore. And it's the card of transition, of leaving turbulent water behind, of moving toward peace, but carrying only what you actually need for the crossing. So it's about transitioning into that energy, moving beyond that as well. And sort of like a journey, deeper thinking basically, about what is serving me, what isn't, what can I do, what can I move away from? Am I helping that person too much? Whereas perhaps they're not even caring about the fact that I am helping them. Because, it's good to help people, but if they are treating you really poorly when you're helping them and not even respectful or not even acknowledging the fact that you're helping them, it's going to be really hard for you emotionally. And that's not really right. So it's about understanding that and then being able to move towards things that do appreciate you, people that do appreciate you. And I want to speak gently but directly to this, because I think it might be the most personal card in the whole reading for you. The Six of Swords is asking what you're carrying across the water that was never yours to carry. Because some people, have such big hearts that they pick up everyone else's weight automatically, feeling responsible for people's happiness, their problems, their choices, things that were never theirs to fix. And it's exhausting, and it's a huge part of what made the storm feel so heavy. So as you cross into the calm, the reading is asking you to set some of that weight down, not to stop being kind, but to stop being responsible for people who don't carry their own share and don't even notice what you carry for them. You're allowed to save your strength for the people who'd carry you back. Life is moving ahead. Then we've got here as well, take action on your ideas. Life is moving ahead. This is literally the first card that actually came out, right? Where I said about the storm thing. I was like, listen, you're moving away from that. And it literally says here, life is moving ahead. Like you're literally moving, This is amazing. Your life is moving. It's not stuck. Take action on ideas, creativity, things that you're thinking about doing. If you have a business venture, a business idea you want to start studying, or you want to start learning, researching, applying for things, it's a good time right now, especially over the next 8 months, to really put those ideas into movement, okay? And I want to name why this card landing here is so perfect, okay? Because it answers the storm completely. The whole feeling of a storm is being stuck, pinned, unable to move. And the final card is literally life is moving ahead, not stuck, moving. And it comes with an instruction, okay? Take action on your ideas because the storm leaving opens a window, and the next 8 months are the time to climb through it. The ideas you shelved during the hard season, the plans you were too overwhelmed to start, this is their season, because now you finally have the calm and the momentum to actually move on them. And before I close this out, I want to leave a few things to actually hold on to, okay? The first, this calm is the storm leaving, not the eye loves. The pattern you've been stuck in, chaos, false calm, chaos again, is breaking. The worst you've been through was the most chaotic it gets. And from here, it genuinely eases. The second, love, money, and peace are all coming. The Eight of Wands, Six of Cups, and Temperance showed a mutual, celebrating, proposal-level love within about 8 months, more financial stability within 6, and a deep inner peace running under all of it. The third, speak your truth and set down what isn't yours. The Knight of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Swords all pointed the same way. Say the honest thing. Stop carrying people who don't carry you and move toward the ones who actually appreciate you. And I want to answer why this reached you now, okay, with this much certainty. Because you'd been bracing, even in the calm, waiting for the next wall of the storm to hit, afraid to trust that things were finally okay. And they are okay. And you were meant to hear it plainly so you could stop bracing and actually start celebrating the way this reading keeps telling you to. I don't pull the Eight of Wands, the Six of Cups, Temperance, the Page of Wands, the Knight of Swords, Strength, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Six of Swords, and a card that literally says life is moving ahead, all pointing the same way by accident. This is already clear, okay? The Eight of Wands confirmed movement, progress, and love speeding toward you. The Six of Cups confirmed a sweet, mutual love heading toward a proposal. Temperance confirmed deep inner peace and money and career straightening out. The Page of Wands confirmed excitement about life and financial stability within 6 months. The Knight of Swords and Ace of Swords confirmed the power of speaking your truth. Strength confirmed you're getting stronger. The Two of Swords confirmed trusting your intuition. The Six of Swords confirmed setting down what isn't yours to carry. And the final card confirmed it all. Life is moving ahead. So let me lay this all out one final time, okay? Slowly, so it actually settles. You have been through a long storm, okay? One that kept fooling you with false calm before the next round of chaos. And it's leaving now, genuinely leaving, and in its place is a mutual proposal level love within about 8 months, more money and stability within 6, and a deep spiritual peace running under all of it. And your part is simple. Speak your truth. Trust your intuition. Set down the weight of people who don't carry you and take action on the ideas you shelved during the hard season. One message. The storm is over, and this calm is the real one. So start celebrating, loves. Comment it below. The storm is over, and let the universe hear you claim it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Moonveil Tarot, like this reading, and comment "the storm is over" below if it resonated. I genuinely read every comment, even the ones I can't always reply to individually. Your story becomes part of the reason this reading keeps finding the next person who needs it too. Wherever you're watching this from, okay, I want you to actually feel this settle in before you go. You have spent so long, okay, never quite able to rest because every time things went calm, a part of you was already waiting for it to fall apart again. You learned to brace. You learned not to trust the good moments. You learned to keep one eye on the horizon for the next storm. And I want to tell you, okay, you can put that watch down now. This calm isn't a trick. It isn't the eye. It's the sky actually clearing, the water actually stilling, the long, hard weather finally moving out to sea. So let yourself celebrate, okay? Let yourself believe that the love is really coming. The stability is really coming. The peace is really yours. You survived the whole storm. And now you get the part that survival was always for. The calm, the joy, the life finally moving ahead. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.